Hello everyone, it's Liverpool Dream Team time and I'm joined by John Achterberg for this one, a man who has been at Liverpool for a very, very long time now. I'm trying to think how long it's been. It's well over a decade now, isn't it?
I think it's 12, I guess.
Yeah, comfortably.
Yeah.
There's been some incredible players in your time there. I want to know, the question I was interested to know, did you pick the formation for this first, or did you pick the players and then go, oh God, they need to fit into a formation?
I think a bit of both, to be honest. I thought this one has to be in and this one has to be in, and then I thought, I can fit it into 4-3-3 the way we always play. So
is that 4-3-3?
Well, some kind of.
You behave. I thought you'd betrayed your Dutch heritage by moving away from 4-3-3. I would, if someone told me this was 4-2-4.
Yeah,
I would say okay.
I'll put it that way as well. Then.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Did you have, like, when you were thinking it through, how much thought did you put into it? How hard was it to put it together?
It was a little thinking, because there's quite a few really good players who could have been in there as well. And then it was a toss of the coin on one or two, but most of them I thought they have to be in. To be honest,
there's a few like names that I think everyone around this era of Liverpool will obviously have in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, ultimately you've worked with all of these guys.
Yeah, but I could only choose the ones when I was with the team and the club, no.
Yeah.
So. Because Alonso was already gone, so could not put him in.
Good to know. Right.
But I had Torres not in the starting 11, but
controversial.
But I put him on the bench, so we have a good swap. I had a good mixture with because we have now nine subs, so I had a good bench, like, to swap, and for different games you could put different players on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, 5 subs as well.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
Yeah, I think yes. If you had that team together in the prime, then it will be hard to stop.
Okay, we're going to start with the goalie, and I guess the only disappointing thing is, of course, as a goalkeeper, that you can only have one in there. I mean, there's obviously, in terms of silverware, in terms of those kind of things, or for silverware for Liverpool in your time, there's only one man. But was there any consideration to any other options in there?
Yeah, of course. Reina, who obviously, when I started, was there already and had a good period, definitely before I came. And he had a great career in the end as well. After us, win probably everything what you can win, or as a number one or a number two. And then you're looking at the talented goalies that we had, like with Keller and Danny Ward. So of course they've been more like number twos, not really number ones. But you have to go with the strongest, I guess. Simon was a good shot stopper, but that level, they could do everything in the way Liverpool plays, really. And that's why I look at, and Keller fits in really well, the way we play, but obviously he is only young. But Reina, obviously, with his reading of the game and distribution and counter restarts and stuff, like, he had to be in there as well, like Ali, obviously. Everyone can see what he has done up to now, and I think he is probably one of the best right now, and probably, I don't know if it's in the Liverpool history, that for other people to decide, but I think you could put him highly up there.
I mean, there's no other goalkeepers other than Alisson Becker in Liverpool history who scored a winning goal in a football match, which we've talked about before, but I mean, that's it's got to get you in there.
Yeah, that's not bad move, actually.
Yeah. So I mean, look, just talk to me about Alisson Becker then, because he is the one. He is, in my opinion, the best goalie that Liverpool have had, certainly in my time of watching the football club. What's he like? We see him on the pitch, but what's he like in comparison off the pitch? What's he like on the training ground?
Yeah, training is unreal as well. The saves he can pull off and the speed and power. He can change speed if it's needed in the action. So say cross comes in, he little mistime it, he can still change speed to get in the right move in there. 1v1 situations, he can judge very quick if he can get there and sprint. Actually, I went to a game in the World Cup, ball in behind in Switzerland after 5 minutes or so, and he sprinted out and he beat the player to the ball, and this kind of things. Obviously, next to obviously unbelievable in probably every aspect. He does pretty good in the goalkeeping side, and that's make him one of the best, I guess, at the moment.
I always think about him that a lot of the saves he makes feel like the best save you've ever seen in your life in real time, but they never look like what we call Hollywood saves. We've seen it, and I do all match of the day saves. So I always think back to just a random example. Wasn't it Loris pulled one out against Newcastle, and he pulled one right out of the top corner, full length, full stretch. They're the ones you live for as a goalkeeper because they're the ones that make you look the best. But he never seems to have to make those saves. I think I've said there's often goalkeepers who will dive for something where Ali will just take 2 steps across and catch it. What is that he's got that means that happens?
Yeah, it's being positional, being in the right positioning as well, and obviously he can move his feet quicker than a lot of the time others, so he doesn't have to then be from the middle takeoff to get there. He can actually move his feet and make it more comfortable, if you like.
Has he got that aura now as well, where, because David De Gea had this for a while at Manchester United, where you feel, and Petr Cech, where you feel like as an opponent they've got to put it right in the corner to have a chance. So strikers now overthink things when they get into those situations.
I think that will happen in the end, no, by him being that consistent and having this big presence and calmness over him, that they think, oh, how can I get the ball past him? Then that will definitely make it harder for people to score past him.
And, I mean, let's be honest, he's just a sensational looking fella as well. The beard, the hair, the look, the size of him, he's just a machine.
Yeah, he's a good presence, no? He's a machine. But, for him now, it's also a little disappointed of the World Cup, and now, we have to kick on again and get back in the routine. And, I always say, you decide how long you stay on the top by being focused every day and keep working and never take the gas off and keep going and make yourself every time new targets, clean sheets, want to be better than anyone else and stuff like that. That makes you stay on the top as long as you can, I think. And I think he has the right mentality for that as well.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Yeah, I think pretty much the easiest pick I would suggest. Well, actually, no, probably this. No, actually, there's probably 1 or 2 quite easier picks in this team, maybe. Right, let's go through the defence. Let's start left back.
Yeah, left back. I had Konchesky. We had left back for a bit, and Aurelio.
Yeah.
And then I think a few others, but for me, Robbo stands out really. The energy, the mentality, the passion he brings to the team. And if you look at the last few years, there has to be some of the players in because they win quite a lot trophies, if you like, and in the end, we've been in a really good phase over the last period, and hopefully we can maintain that and recreate that, if you like. That is the plan, no? And Robbo had a big part in that for sure.
There's just something about his character again as well. I'm sure we'll do a lot of this because I think particularly this Jurgen Klopp squad, that's one of the biggest things that all of the players seem to have, is that brilliant mentality. But you look at Robertson, I know he's so likeable. He's such a nice guy, but he's so gritty on the pitch. I think back to Roma away, and and in the Champions League semi-final, and he's like throwing guys off the pitch, and he's getting stuck in. He's getting stuck in first half against Messi and Barcelona.
It's like a switch, no, on the field or off the field. Off the field, you can be a different person than on the field, and on the field you have to be, I don't know, it's not nasty, but you need a different mentality, a fighting mentality, passion mentality, and for sure he shows that. We have a few more of them, but he is also one of them who brings that energy and mentality.
Best left back in the world?
I think he will be up there if you put it, because if you can run 90 minutes up and down, there's not too many who can do that, and defend and creating and scoring. That still can improve, I guess, but that's probably the only thing what he can still add to it, and hopefully in the next coming years he'll do that as well.
Does he score in training?
Sometimes.
Yeah, definitely those dropping at the back post shots where I think people in the goal behind have gotten more used to putting their hands up to cover the face rather than getting ready to to celebrate. Yeah. Okay, let's do the opposite side then, right back.
Yeah, we had Glenn Johnson obviously for a long period. And then we had Flano was there for a period, and I think Kelly played a little bit right back as well. But for me, Trent has been the most stand out. And again, what he has done since he come in the team, the energy he brought up and down, the quality of his distribution, passing, creating, and defending as well. There's been a lot of people bring some other stuff out, but if I would have been at England, I want to win games and not draw games, and then you need him on the field because he can score you a free kick, he can put a cross on Harry Kane's head from any moment, and I think for them it was a big miss in my opinion, and maybe I'm looking too much with the red lights, but for sure he would have been able to create a lot more.
Do you think is it sort of surprising at the AXA when you hear people talking about Trent and the defending side of things? Because as a fan it is, because I look at the games, I've travelled the world watching them play in the biggest games of football, and a club team can play in and win them. Yeah. And then all of a sudden there's this idea that somehow his defensive side is a weakness that means he can't get into a football team.
Yeah, well, you just have to look back what he has won over the period in the big games. We had to beat Barcelona and anyone really over the last period. You only can name a few, but we win all the trophies. He played the right back, he created, and I think it's better to being more positive than negative if you are in a team. I prefer the more positive teams like we are than a team who sits with 11 behind the ball. And in Liverpool history, it's always been the positive playing teams, and he is one part of that.
What's he like again around the place? Because he's become a man. You think about it, he's gone from being this young little boy almost come through, quite shy, quite reserved, and now you see him, he just seems like he's getting a much bigger personality, much bigger voice in and around things. Yeah,
but he is a pretty calm personality, I think, but he's a really good guy, so I think he deserves a lot of credit.
And just then, in terms of his level and where he's at, he's got to be considered in there with the greatest of, 23, 24? One of the greatest players to play for Liverpool, probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest right back to play for Liverpool.
Yeah, and I cannot disagree with that. No, especially in the last years, what he has shown. Hopefully, he has many more years to do that, and hopefully win more things.
Absolutely. Right, let's do centre halves. Let's do left-sided centre half first.
Yeah, obviously we had a few. Skirtle, obviously Carragher played left and right, to be honest. But for me it was Virgil, he has been a machine since he came really to us. And again, in the period I was here, because we're talking the period I was here, we started winning trophies with this team, and he has been consistent, attacking threat, defensive threat, And I'm looking always in my team. I like to have two big centre halves really, because you have an attacking threat for set plays on one side, and you have a good defensive balance for set plays you need as well. So you need to find the right balance, especially also in England. Physical teams, they have more height, so you have to be able to find the balance between quick, young, small players who are mobile, but also, you have to balance to be on either side perfect in defending and attacking and scoring goals.
He's just the complete package, isn't he? Absolutely, the complete package. Obviously, again, for me, he's up there with the Alan Hansons and Phil Thompsons and everyone who's played for Liverpool over the years. Where does he rank in terms of Dutch centre halves?
I think we had Stam, probably, who did pretty well, but I would say I think Virch is probably. I think he's been the best defender Holland ever had, to be honest. That's my personal opinion, because he has everything. Can play, he's strong in the air, attacking, defensive, and he is reasonable, fast as well. So you have full coverage, what you need.
I think people forget how fast he actually is sometimes, because he never has to sprint. So when he does have to sprint, it's quite a shocking thing to see just how quickly he covers the ground.
Yeah, that's true. He's faster than you think, but he is a big unit, no?
Speaking of which, the guy you've gone alongside him, I think this is possibly your most controversial pick in this.
I would say yes.
Who is it?
Konate. But it was probably toss of the coin with Matip, really, to be honest. I like Matip very much as well, and I tell you, it was really hard to choose this one. Like you said, it's probably controversial because Matip played most of the big games as well, and Konate arrived a little bit later. But what I really like is, again, I'm looking for attacking threat on the set plays, and Konate seems to be a little bit better on that side. But for me, I'm happy to play with Matip as well. So
is this your big centre half thing again?
Yeah, exactly. And I really like Matip, the way he has been playing for us. I explain everything about big centre halves and how I see it.
But he's another one where, I mean, it's mad to think he just feels like he's been at this level forever, but he's just not been at the club that long. He's obviously had a tough second season because of injury.
Yeah.
He was probably Liverpool's best player in the Champions League final.
Yeah, of course, and the way he actually also dribbles with the ball in and then stay that calm under pressure and really. Yeah, that was probably the hardest one, and I think Matip probably deserved a bit more to be in it because of the length of situation, where Konate has fast, powerful, attacking headers, really good, but is more the talent, if you like, for the next, hopefully, years as well, next to it. But that's a little bit how I did it on this position, and it's, like you said, a bit controversial probably.
He is very, very, I mean, look, he's so exciting to watch, because you're right, he's got Matip's height, but he's got Virgil's sort of build
and speed
and maybe that just the reading of the game is the thing that comes, but that comes with experience.
That's right.
But that gets better and better. He's another one where I feel like he's, when we're talking about Virgil being the complete package, I can't see anything that either Konate doesn't already have or won't. I can't see him developing in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, so that's why it was like probably unfair to Matip, but my thinking was a little bit for the future on that as well.
No consideration for Kara?
Yes, I had him on the bench, like we discussed it now also for the mentality, and we said I now you can have 9 subs, so I was thinking sometimes we playing like West Ham or Burnley, you need someone like Cara or Millie and Hendo. So I had these boys as well in my squad for sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the midfield then. If we're saying it's 4-3-3, are we saying it's a lone DM, or are we saying it's a double pivot in there?
It's a bit a double one, but with one more to sit and one more the attacking one.
So let's go with the deepest.
Yeah, there'll be Mascherano, and again that could have been a 50-50 with Fabinho, in my opinion. Obviously Mascherano is mobile and did what he did after he left us as well, and Fabinho, of course, he's been outstanding with us really since he been there. Win also everything what you can think of. So that could be another controversial one if we put it that way. But Mascherano was like also like Hoeveno. He was quick left, right, and center. So that was like another 50-50 if you put it that way. And you cannot make everyone happy as well, no? So you have to, I'll go with this one, and that's what I did.
But Jay Spearman put Mascherano in his team as well, and he spoke to he always looked at him and felt like he was just always up for a game of football. Yeah. We used to joke on Redmen years ago that if you turned up at Mascherano's front door and knocked on it on Saturday morning with a football under your arm and said, "Do you want to kick about?" He'd tackle the ball out of your arm and go and run down the street with it.
He has that mentality, And he is like a little ratting. You cannot say a dog, but he is flying left, right, and stuff like that. But Fabinho has done that too, and that's why it was like a 50-50, if you like. Okay,
you've gone for nostalgia and star power in the Mascherano thing there. Yeah. You've lost height though.
Yeah, but because the others have the height, so you're looking at that one. So you look at mobility and height.
Yeah.
So that's why if I put Fabinho in, we probably having a little bit more height, but we have enough on the field with the next midfielder as well now.
Okay. So the man who's sort of alongside him but slightly more advanced is?
Yeah, that's Stevie G, no. There's no doubt on that one, no. It's a shame that he never got to work with the boss we have now. It would have been great to see that develop, but we don't have to talk about that, no.
Yeah. But he's the one, isn't he? I think everyone who is doing a Liverpool dream team from the period of '98 till he leaves the club is going to have Steven Gerrard in the team. Everyone's spoken about him a million times, but you've seen him up close in personal.
Yeah.
What was he like? What was he like around the training ground?
He's like a Rolls Royce, no? Take the ball and just put it on someone's toes, no? Left, right. Just banging it everywhere. It's unbelievable. It's actually great that you have been able to see that close up now. And it's a shame that it was only too short in my period. We could have loved to see more of it. And you mentioned Alonso, but I could not pick him because he was a good player, of course, but he was already gone before I started. So I only could look at what I worked with in my time, really. So
he's just the ultimate Liverpool player for me, Steven Gerrard, and I think a generation earlier than me will obviously talk about Kenny Dalglish in the same way, which I still do.
Yeah.
But as you said, there was just nothing he couldn't do, and obviously it's a shame that the banter era of football kind of got too much of a grip toward the back end of his career. But even in the last couple of seasons, when he wasn't quite the all-round player that he'd been in his prime.
Yeah, but he still dragged us like on file to moments where we were so close winning the league that year. He dragged us through games with his passing and taking penalties on the high pressure and all that stuff. He was a proper leader as well, no? Yeah,
and just how respected was he just around Melwood?
Yeah, by everyone. There's no doubt. If anything was an issue, he resolved it and spoke to the people and organized it. I cannot talk more highly about it, and it's great to be able to see it from close range.
Absolutely. Right. So this is where there's no way this is a 4-3-3, but I'm gonna let I'm gonna let you. Are we talking more of a 10 for this next?
Yeah, but
or are we talking, because if it's 4-3-3?
Yeah, he's like Steve. He drops more in than the 6-6, and then he starts in the 10 if you like.
Yeah,
but he drifts a lot now.
And who are we talking about?
Bobby, no.
Bobby Firmino.
Yeah.
What a player.
I could not miss him out, no. What he has done over the years and how he has played and run around to set up really the pressing situations and stuff like that, and what he creates and how many unbelievable goals he scored, and how vital he was for the whole way of play, no, and still is, no. So
is he a football genius?
You would say yes, no. With the magic he shows on the ball, sometimes it's unreal what he can do as well, no.
Because I think about the players throughout the Premier League, and I think we all fall in love with these type of players. Yeah. And there's two different types of forwards that you fall in love with. There's the guys who score all the goals, but then there's the guys who are just they do those magical things. So I always think about Bergkamp, and you think about Zola.
Yeah,
and those type of players. I think Firmino is that, because we've had goal scorers around him. Yeah. They're the ones that draw the eye to your casual fan. But to what he's just mad.
Yeah, he's a special player. You pay money to watch him play. No, that's how it is. And we had at Liverpool quite a few where you go to pay money to watch. No,
how important is he, and has he been to the success of that front three? And obviously the front three has evolved a little bit in recent seasons, but at its peak, Mane, Salah, Firmino, how central was he to that?
Vital, no, because other teams, they could not mark you cannot double mark one of them because the other one used it, no. That was the issues for a lot of teams, no. If you have only one of them, you get double marked, and then they can take the fire out of that player. But that was not to do with that front three, really, no.
Yeah, no, absolutely, just an incredible footballer. We'll go left of the attack.
Yeah. Oh, I put Sadio there, no. There's no other, I think, discussion possible, if you like. He chased everyone like crazy. He set the press probably. And sometimes Mo did it or Bobby, depends how we set the tactics. But you see how much he runs around and how much he created with doing this kind of work. His work ethic is from a different level, no? And yeah, everyone knows it, no, and saw it.
That ability to just you could see him in his eyes and how he played. We talked about in the title-winning season, nobody in that first period, in a determined side, there was not one Liverpool player who wanted to win that title more than Sadio Mane, and that is ridiculous to say because everyone wanted to win the title.
That's it, no, and he had always fire to win, no, and sometimes I go in halftime, make sure you stay calm because they try to wind him up, and make sure you stay calm because we need you on the field, and don't let them get you a red card and stuff like that. But
was that because I'd never really thought about it, but of course he gets the red card at Man City when he nearly kicks Edison's head off, not deliberately, of course, no. But it felt like that was a one of those games where he was so pumped up for it, and sort of a couple of times in big games afterwards, but he always did manage to keep his head in those situations.
Yeah, but I think that was really unlucky because we saw a lot of this kind of situations where no one get a red card but just a yellow, and he go for the ball, and I think obviously Edison got an unfortunate cut, and that made it look bad really, and that's what happened then. But I think he was a bit unlucky that because he never had any intention or has as a player intention to injure someone, so.
His ability to go past people, I mean, for me, again, the Bayern Munich away, up against Neuer as well, and effectively to sit Neuer down, it's just...
To turning It was like a circus act the way he did it. No, it was unreal. No, what an unbelievable goal that was. Everyone remembers that. No, yeah. But he had also he could accelerate. No, in his sprint when he's sprinting, he could put the extra sprint gear in. That's that was great to watch. No,
absolutely, and also obviously playing for the left, playing centre forward in the last in the last season as well.
Yeah.
Just an absolute borderline perfect footballer.
Yeah,
on his day.
True. Yeah.
Okay, let's go right of the attack, and if Sadio was nailed on, there's someone equally, I guess, is nailed on.
Yeah, of course. No, he break every record existing, so it can only be Mo being in that positioning. Really, yeah. What he has been showing and the level and quality and the skills he shows, it's different level as well. No.
Is it just obvious when a genuinely special player walks into the club, and and I don't necessarily mean from day one.
Yeah.
I mean because I don't know. I don't think anyone expected him to be as good as he's been. Everyone thought he'd be good.
Yeah.
But when you look at him now, and he's established, people are having conversations about him being the best player on the planet.
Yeah.
Do you just see that when you see him play or see him walk around the axis?
Yeah, you see him moving in the training and the skills with the little touches and clip around players, and you see the magic he shows now. And in this team it worked also perfect, because like I said, if you have three up front, then you have a little bit more freedom. If you have only one, then there's two players go on that, make sure and then makes it a lot of harder, but then still he keeps showing the consistency and creating and scoring ability, and I don't know whatever records he broke, so long may it continue. He's a great guy next to it as well, so that's important too.
Was there a sense of relief around the club when he signs the new contract, knowing that someone of that talent gets to carry on being at Liverpool?
Yeah, of course you want your best players to stay at the club. Everyone in the club wants to win. So you want your best players to stay, and you want to improve and find new players like that level to help the team again to be successful, because in the end you want to be able to compete with everyone in the world and want to win trophies in the UK and outside the UK, and we all have this passion and drive, and hopefully we can keep doing this.
Has he changed as a character in the last couple of years, because he's gone from being he's the last of that front three to join the club. He's obviously been the most successful. He's the biggest star almost, certainly globally in the team. He's now into his 30s. He's signed the contract. Has he taken on more of a senior role in the squad?
I think Mo feels always pressure to do well and score goals, because like you said, globally I think he also feels he probably carries the whole world and wants to show everyone that he can produce and want to produce. And I think that's also a born mentality, I think, and I think he has that.
Yeah, they're just absolutely incredible. All the people who said he was a one-season wonder, he's kind of shut them all up.
Yeah, that's it, and long may it continue,
Okay, your final space, centre forward in this one?
Yeah, I started when Suarez was there. But and he was really good too, and he has done unbelievable well for Liverpool. But I got to work also with Suarez, and what this guy produced in that time was unreal. It was just magic sometimes as well. So, and then you see why I put Bobby, who is more like a Bobby. If he starts 9, he goes in midfield as well, and that's why I created the lineup to put this team together. And but leaving also some unbelievable good players out. Sturridge had a good period for 1 or 2 years, also quite a few injuries, but Sterling was up and coming, but you need a handover in your midfield as well for a lot of quality he brings, and he's done really well with England in the last game. So to leave them out, and Millie, who we can play on every positioning, you leave them out. So, but I put them for sure in my bench because we need this mentality players, but not only mentality, they bring also good quality on the ball, and and you need a mixture of this for your whole squad.
On Suarez again, a player that Jay Spearham put in, and he told the story about how aggressive Suarez was in training. That I'm lucky enough to interview him in the very early days of his Liverpool career, and he was just so nice, such a nice fella off the pitch, but it just looked like he turned into an absolute beast whenever you threw a football in front of him.
I think that's what we already discussed just before. No, here with the Robo situation as well off the field. They're all nice guys off the field, but when you're on the field, you need to create a winner's mentality, and and Louis probably took it to the board, but that makes you win games. No, he made unbelievable games by his work rate, created his own chances by the work rate, but also created a lot of chances for others. For Stutzy, for sure, he made also a lot of chances. By if they wanted to mark him, then the other one got more freedom, and so they drive for. So that's for sure works. And after he left us, of course, he showed a lot more still as well.
Well, he made Barcelona better.
Yeah, of course.
Which was ridiculous. Which is a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, well, Messi know that, no. That's for sure, no. Yeah. If you have a guy like that in front, takes a lot of pressure off you, and you can shine a lot more as well. Then, no.
The thing about him, where there'll be people we'd like to do comparisons and talk about the greatest Liverpool players of all time, and I think the only thing that stops Suarez truly being in the pantheon of the Liverpool sort of gods is just that he wasn't at the club long enough.
He left too early, I guess.
But in terms of what he could do, I would argue that he's the most talented, probably the most talented footballer Liverpool have maybe ever had. Look at the goals he scored. He could score every type of goal. He would score, again, genius goals. Goals where he picked the ball up 50 yards from goal, and like John Ruddy still wakes up in the middle of the night thinking about Luis Suarez.
Yeah, it's true, no? It's it's true. And we had a lot of good strikers, Rushy, Kenny, and Aldo, of course, and there's probably a lot more I missed out, but on the period I work with, he had to be in there. That's for sure. And it's a shame that he only had a few years, because if he would have had the period even after with us, we could have won also with him trophies for sure, I guess. Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's a good team. That it's a very good team. Yeah. I mean, I think 4-3-3 is a stretch. Yeah. But we'll do it. I think in attack it's a 4-4-2-4.
Yeah, well, take it like that, no?
Yeah, definitely. So we've done some of the honourable mentions already, but obviously, it's tough, because there must be a temptation there. You could have picked exclusively of players from the last 5 years and done a team that was as good as any team that Liverpool have ever had.
Yeah, maybe, yes. Yeah, we had... we have Enrique. We had the Mazza left back for a period as well, no. But Robo sticks out. But that's why I put I made a bench really, because there's too many good ones who could play, and you need a squad of 20, 22 to win, no. So that's how I thought I make all the boys I named really also in the squad.
So there's trying to make sure that when you go back, if they ever see this, they're not going, hey John, why wasn't it?
Well, for instance, Lallana, what he brought to the team in intensity and work rate as well, no? Too many good
How
ones.
important, I always think this, because I think people forget quite quickly, players' contributions at times to teams, but like Jürgen loved Lallana.
Yeah, because he bring that energy to the team, no, and he also put the fighting and the chasing down and winning the ball back, and that's the key of our team, no. intensity, winning the ball back as quick as we can, and start the counter.
I'm going to put you on the spot because I've not prepped this, but it's just that I want to know of the younger players that are in there now or on the fringes. If we're doing a Liverpool dream team in another 10 years' time, who do you think that's there right now will be in consideration for this team?
Yeah, the problem is I don't want to say anything like that because and I tell you why, because I don't want them to be under pressure.
Yeah,
you can put too much pressure on them. Let them develop, but there's definitely one or two good ones there who could do something like that special. But I think they should let them develop under the radar, let people look at it, and then don't put them under pressure. I think that's the fair.
So without naming names,
yeah,
you do think there's some lads in there though who could well be in consideration?
Yeah, I think yes.
Excellent. No more comments on that one. No more pressure. Great. John, thank you so much for taking the time to come in and give us your dream team. It's going to take some beating.
Yeah, I think if we have this team all in the prime, I don't think there's many teams who can beat that, no?
Yeah, I fully agree on that. What do you think of John's dream team?
We need to have the Klopp as the manager as well to
of course
implement the way of work and stuff.
And you're looking after the goalies.
Well,
who's your backup goalie?
Now?
No, who was your backup goalie in your team? He was on your bench.
Reina, no. We had put Reina there, no.
Of course, the king of the boxing punch.
Keller is really good in everything he does, but he had not that much experience yet, no, as Reina bring to the table and what he did as well.
Well, speaking of experience, we're going to hopefully do a better feature on this in the coming weeks. But your book is here. You mentioned this to me a year or so ago, and it's obviously been long in the making. Amazing mission. John Achterberg and the road to the world top with Liverpool. You happy about this?
It was never my idea, if you want to put it that way. The guy in my hometown, Tom van Hulsen, who wrote a few English books. It started before Kiev taught what a story you have to tell, how you go from being a 14-year-old boy playing in your local team, in the first team, to end up being the goalie coach at Liverpool. And that was before he started. So, and then obviously he had to add on, but spoke to the boss, spoke to Aldo and Les Tramier and other people as well about this. And in the end it was only in Dutch really, and then he decided be good maybe to do it, because a lot of people in England ask about it, to do it in English, and it just arrived. So there you go. Maybe a good read.
Maybe a good read. Yeah. Well, this is the first I've got my hands on it, so we'll make sure it gets read, and we'll come in and have a proper old discussion about it in future. But there you go.
It's in the shop at Liverpool, and I think it's going online in the next day. So if you're interested, then
go and check it out.
Have a read.
As simple as that. There we go. Huge thanks to John for coming in and giving his dream team, and giving the book a little plug as well, because why not?
No problem.
Thank you so much. I know you got a very busy, hectic schedule coming up, so thank you so much for taking the time.
Yes, no problem, Paul. Thank you for having me here and discussing some unbelievable players in the past years I've been here.
Absolutely amazing. Yes, let us know your thoughts on John's team in the post comments underneath. Thank you so much. Have a great week. We'll see you soon. Ta-ra.
Hey guys, that was an episode of our Liverpool Dream Teams that we've just given away for free. If you want to check out the entire series featuring the likes of ex-Liverpool players Jay Spearing and Mark Wright, as well as some celebrity Liverpool fans such as Toby Tarrant, simply go on over to redmenplus.com. If you sign up, you'll get access to the entire first series of Dream Teams, both in video and podcast form. So head on over to redmenplus.com, sign up and watch or listen to the entire first series